Did Aaron Rodgers' legacy take a hit last night?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. And I'm here with evidence to show you not only did it not take a hit, but let's make Aaron Rodgers, the great, a sympathetic figure, shall we? How many points did they give up last night? Carry the one. 37, right? 37. Okay. Do you know that no quarterback has ever had worse showings from their defense in the playoffs than the Aaron Rodgers? Let's talk about his 8 playoff losses. You want to know what the average points scored against his team were? 36.4. His defense is in every one of those games. We could talk about his passer rating, but let's talk more so about how his defense is always compromised in the games that he loses. So if you look at this situation, Aaron Rodgers walked in there undermanned. Even leaving the game said, this ain't the most talented Green Bay Packers team I've had. They need help. He went from overachieving during the regular season with this team in a 13-3 record, wasn't supposed to be here, to the point where now people are going to take a hit at his legacy when he did the unexpected. That's crazy. Aaron Rodgers did exactly what was expected. Wasn't the reason they lost, but still came up short because of the defense and the lack of weapons.
It hurts. If it's my turn, it certainly hurts. I mean, in the world of sports, you're measured by your successes. You're also measured by your failures. Going away from the statistical categories of what took place yesterday, just looking at the way this 49er defense kept Aaron Rodgers confused, frustrated him, showed basically what a blueprint could look like. Now, you don't have as many good horses up front all around the league, but if we're talking about if Aaron Rodgers proves out in that game and he's able to some way, somehow crack the code of what the 49ers defense has been bringing in that multiple tier 3 coverage defense, then now we're talking about it's GOAT status for him. But he didn't do that. And not only did he not do it, but in moments where he clearly could have been a catalyst for possibly pulling them through, pulling them closer, grabbing control of the game, he came up short.
Well, I mean, NFC Championship game, I love how you brought up those statistics. I mean, I would love to see any quarterback, I'm sure, in the NFC playing against the best teams in the NFL, your numbers are going to dip a little bit. When I went against the best team, sometimes your numbers are going to dip. It's just all there is to it. It's just how it goes. I don't think his legacy's taking a hit. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Him being in this situation, if you saw them week 8, I did not think they would make it to the NFC Championship game. I thought they were going to lose the first round. But he is an exceptional quarterback. To me, he's one of the top players to ever play the position. I don't think one game. He doesn't have the talent, too. Let's talk about that. Devontae Adams is his only primetime weapon. And the running back. Running back's good, too. But besides that, I mean, the rest of those guys, nothing against them, but they have not shown up. They have been so inconsistent this year. Jimmy Graham is a great tight end, but he's not what he used to be, not by any means. It's just, I think he was a little short, kind of like with Tom Brady. I'd say the same thing with him this year. The weapons weren't what they used to be, so your numbers are going to fall off. They're not going to be as good as they used to be.
All right, listen, I didn't use the word here, but originally this one did his legacy take a ding? Today we say take a hit. But you got to remember what a ding is. A ding's just you almost don't notice it on a car. If a car gets dinged,
you don't get that
there's not a full dent.
If it's a nice car, you're going to notice
all
that.
Not a ding. I've had a ding. I had a Mercedes that had a ding that I didn't get fixed. No one ever said a word about it.
They didn't want to tell him. They didn't want to tell him. I said, did you see that ding on Whitlock's car?
I ain't talking about that car. That's cute. Yeah, right.
And so I'm just, did it take a ding? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, is he still great? Is he still a quarterback you'd want, one of the 2 or 3 best in the league? Absolutely. But when you get boat race like that, when you have guys like Colin Cowherd that have been beating the drum and will continue to beat the drum, and you got these quirks in your personality, you go from, hey, is he an all-time great winner or is he an all-time great passer? And there's a whole difference in their reputation-wise. And he's an all-time great passer, and I compare him favorably to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain's one of the greatest athletes, NBA players of all time. But when they start talking about who the greatest is, They're like, man, Will put up 100, and Will he's got some nice stats.
Average 50 and 20.
Yeah, he got some nice stats.
Top 10.
But he ain't there with Jordan and Bill Russell and LeBron and some of the other guys.
Bill Russell.
And that's where I think Aaron Rodgers takes a little ding. He's in a little different conversation now.
I ain't going to turn this into an NBA show, but damn it, he better than Bill Russell. I'm going to say this. Don't count all them team and all them Hall of Famers he played with. Individual greatness versus team success. Last year, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. Respect. What did Tom Brady do? Throw 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Did that get lost in the ring and the success of the team? It did. Aaron Rodgers is sitting there saying, look, I don't have offensive weapons to the level of the teams I'm playing against, let alone my defense gives up 37 every time I step on the field in the playoffs. When we're losing, that's what's going to happen. So I just want to make sure we can distill the argument and laser focus on Aaron Rodgers, not the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers shouldn't have been here. That was not a 13-win team in terms of roster construction.
That's true.
Somehow, some way they did. Now let's not use that against Aaron Rodgers.
But they won 13 games. Yeah. And you just said, did not foresee them being in the championship round, right?
Yeah.
Who are you giving that credit to? Who are you giving that credit to?
Let's
say what you're thinking.
Aaron Jones.
Defense?
No, who are you giving that credit to? Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
I would.
You're giving that credit to Aaron Rodgers. The way it sounded, the way you said it, sounds like Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't have a great year, though, so we were already hesitant.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
If we're giving Aaron Rodgers the credit for leading that team with a first-year head coach to the NFC playoff championship round, 1 game away from the Super Bowl, of course you're going to give him the credit for being the architect on the field of being able to get them that far and that deep into the playoffs.
So now we're going to take the debit. You're going to
give him the blame as well.
You have to.
I don't think you.
If you're going to take the credit for getting there, this shouldn't have been a 13-3 team the way they were constructed. I didn't think they'd make it to the NFC playoff championship round, but they did. And what is the common denominator in terms of why you're having success with this team? You're going to go to the quarterback. So if you're asking, does it take a ding? Does it take a step back? Are you going to look at Aaron Rodgers and say, did Aaron Rodgers come up short in the biggest game of the season?
If you spot
you're going to say that.
37. What quarterback is going to win that game?
He participated in giving him that 37.
He did help.
He was part of it.
He did help.
Yeah, and look, I've seen people, I don't think it's a big deal, but I've seen people make a big deal about him not going after that fumble. They're comparing it.
He didn't even look.
Cam Newton?
They're comparing it.
Don't do it.
He did not even look.
Why
when
should
the
he?
ball went. What?
It's bigger than one play. Ask Drew Brees how it feels to go after a fumble.
He let that ball go, and he just looked up at the sky like, I really don't have the ball right now.
Okay, we talk about the ding, and it goes back to the argument you just said about me and Gronk.
Yes.
Okay, so are we judging on team success? Are we judging on individual success? It is first
He
of all,
didn't have a lot of individual success yesterday.
Well, no, I don't think so either.
Okay.
I don't think, but over his career, I mean, we can't take away what the man has done in legacy. It's
But
just
we're talking about how this particular game affected his legacy. Did it take a little ding? Let's say if you had him rated at 98. Do you back him up to 96 now?
So are you backing Tom Brady up because they didn't make it to the playoffs? I mean, they're the number one defense in the league this year.
Oh,
he's
But this is
in heaven. He's in heaven.
But this is this is what I'm talking about. When you have that type of success, it's like, okay, do we judge guys? Dan Marino, if he would have won 4 Super Bowls, are we saying he's the best quarterback of all time now?
Yes,
probably. You probably
What
would.
if he never makes it back to this game again? Does that take a hit on his legacy? Because that's probably the
It
last
depends on what
lasting
type
memory.
of person you are. Are you that type of person to say, okay, I need trophy, I need jewelry?
bases.
That was a knock against me. They're like, well, he's got no jewelry.
Modern day,
he ain't the best.
How come it's so hard to extract the individual from the team?
Modern day fan bases don't want to invest that type of time.
No, we're not going to talk down to fan bases. We're going to talk up with our knowledge. Our knowledge is this. I think it's much greater of an accomplishment to be a Hall of Famer, to be Tony Gonzalez, than the guy who walks around with multiple rings who didn't have the same contribution in individual excellence. I look at it that way. I think a lot of players do. But that's not what you can sell to fan bases. That's not what you can pander to people. But individual greatness is greater because you can only control that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.